Gave me lots of advice. The most important advice he gave me was to be 100% real. He said that if I was real with somebody and did that from him, and I followed his advice, and a lot of people cannot handle someone being 100% real. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think a lot of people could not handle Tupac. Because he was about as real as they come, and it's like when you get that real, it almost seems like it's game. But that's the best advice he gave me.
We had a dual relationship. I was not involved in the entertainment industry at all. Tupac is the primary reason I got involved. He asked me to get involved just based upon our relationship. He wanted me to come in and kind of watch it and see, you know, what developed. And from that, I learned a lot about the music industry as well as about the film industry.
To be able to speak to 5 different people in the room with 5 different experiences is truly a profound intelligence. This brings me to my disappointment. I'm a self-made millionaire, dog living out of prison, pistols in the air. Biggie, remember when I used to let you sleep on the couch and back a bitch to let you sleep in the house? Now it's all about Versace, you got me myself. 5 shots couldn't drop me, I took it and smelled. Now I'm about to set the record straight. When my game's in the dog that you love to hate. He's always interpreting himself. He's always trying to help you to understand who he is. But only after, and it's not even who he is, because who he says he is who everyone is. The essence of Tupac. And this is the circular knowledge that I appreciate from Tupac.
He was brutally honest. And I miss that about him too, because I'm exactly the same way. And not intentionally meaning to hurt people's feelings, but the truth must be told. The truth normally does hurt. Either if it's good news or bad news, it's normally it's pretty stimulating, and I appreciate that about him. He was very lovely guy. The reason why I thought that Tupac was an interesting character was because people would always say, "Oh, he's crazy, he's wild, he's a time bomb, ready to explode, dysfunctional, single parent," the basic stereotype black ghetto street scum mentality they always make pervasive towards all young black people that come from that part of the ghetto. And what really struck me about him was his heart. You know what I mean? A lot of people they think are good, but they're not good. They're just well behaved. But he probably wasn't well behaved, but he was good. Listen, you think of some other great famous rapper that's the opposite of Tupac. You got the good light, and you got the a white bread image, lily white image, whoever they are may be, and ask them for $100, $1,000 or something. They got ask them for $1,000, and see what they give it to you. Ask Tupac, who people think are crazy and demented, and ask them for $1,000 in this last $1,000. Boom, you got it. And that's what separates the two, because God judges our hearts, while man judges our action. And that's what I thought was very special and genuine about him. And that's what separates him from basically the majority of other people in his field.
My favorite song from Tupac is kind of hard for me to say, because I like so much of his stuff and so much of his material touched me. But I'd have to say Brenda's Got a Baby, because it's the first song I heard, and it's the first time I heard somebody who comes from the streets and whose origin is similar to mine, thuggism, and could come and touch me and tell me a story and make me see it and visualize. It was like a picture. It's like he painted a picture for me. That'd be my favorite one. We lost an entrepreneur, political activist, a future president. I mean, the possibilities is just so vast. It's so many things that he could have did.
My disappointment is not so much with Tupac, but my disappointment is what the loss was. In a lot of ways, I say, you know, Tupac died for our sins. If we were in another time, he would be our Jesus Christ. He would have been our Muhammad. He would have been our Buddha, our Krishna, our Moses. He is the representation of what we all aspire to be, and at the same time, what we aspire not to be.
A lot of people talk about the two passionate sides of Tupac, and I say that and I smile because I often tell people Tupac was a true Gemini if you look at astrology. Sometime Tupac and I would have business decisions. We would make a decision. I might leave the room and come back in, and whatever we talked about was just totally changed. And I would often ask Tupac, could you just bring that other guy back, you know? Bring the guy back that agreed with me the first time. But in that also, Tupac had a sensitive side, and he also had a hard side, you want to say it. He represented the yin and the yang, or the dualities of life. And you can see that portrayed in his music. When you have Keep Your Head Up or Brenda's Got a Baby, and then you can talk about, you know, have other songs where he's really talking street life. And people say, well, you know, those seem to be contradictory, but they were not contradictory. They were just a part of Tupac. And he expressed the haves as well as the have-nots. He always wanted to have a pulse on the people that was disadvantaged, the ones he called them thug life. You know, so people say, well, how can you talk about thug life and at the same time be so sensitive to an incest situation with Brenda's Got a Baby, or talking about Keep Your Head Up in a situation where, you know, single parent and particularly single black women can deal with that. So those two different sides of Tupac was really a part of it. I mean, that was all of him. That was, and you had to know that. You had to begin to understand that in order to work with Tupac. You really could not just say, well, Tupac is one-dimensional. In fact, he's probably more than just two sides. And I say is more because if we see tonight, we're here at a second tribute celebration of Tupac's life, and their music that's constantly coming out. People constantly finding out new things about Tupac. There's a side of Tupac that people never knew about, the poetry side. They knew about the music, they knew about the film, but they didn't know about, you know, the poetry. And that I always saw those things in there. Tupac was probably, because of those kind of things, one of the most prolific writers that I've found. You know, he could write a song on the way to the airport. In fact, literally write songs out. He would take a legal pad and just really do a song. And a lot of songs you hear today. That's that duality I believe in Tupac.
He used to always sit us down and just shoot the knowledge at us, but that wasn't where we got the knowledge from that. But we just got the knowledge being around him. You know, Pop was never afraid to spread. You know, and he said we was like he nurtured us. You know what I'm saying? We was like his children. I mean, we all got families and everything, but it took us to another level where parents don't really like to take their kids, and he took us there delicately. You know what I mean? He didn't just take us there, you know, kick us in the trash. He took us there with soft hands and gloves. And, you know, that's why we just get into the world now, but we been here. We gonna be here, so.
Yeah, I knew Pac since he got out of jail. He taught me more than anybody my whole life in that period of time. That's real.
This is the reality for a black male in my situation. He didn't represent everybody. In death, he does. Of course, in death, everyone represents everybody. But his life did not represent the life that everyone was living. His life represented a specific group of people going through a specific kind of experience.
First of all, I feel the world hasn't lost Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Because he's still here. He lived through me and a lot of other soldiers. He put me in the game through hook me up with the video and doing my video and talking to me and just sitting me down and talking to me as a little brother or as a young, soldier or young warrior or whatever, getting at me. And so I feel he really isn't dead. And it's the Outlaws, Thug Life, Faye Hussein, just a host of others that's going to keep his name alive, keep him alive. And, man, I have conversations with him. You might think I'm crazy, but, he ain't dead. Never that.